Minions! I've read a lot of stories on this channel, so take me at my word when I say that this is one of the most toxic GMs I've ever read about, or at the very least a very metagamey one, almost as if he wanted to play OSR and not D&D 5th edition, but I digress. Let's roll for initiative and just see what's up. Well, here's a tale about one of my more unpleasant RPG experiences. It wasn't so much one big behavior that turned me off from the DM, but a bunch of little ones that drove me up the wall until I left. I won't bother listing the players as it's largely irrelevant. The DM was the main issue here. He was running the same module, Dungeon of the Mad Mage, with two different parties on 2 different days. Allegedly, we were both in the dungeon at the same time, but it really didn't make much of a difference that I could see. This was my first experience with D&D 5th edition outside of a con one-shot setting. I was still learning the system beyond the basic 1d20 plus modifiers. I certainly knew nothing about the different monsters or what their capabilities were, beyond the vaguest, orcs big and strong, goblins small and conniving and quick, etc. A friend of a friend said that they would be running an online 5th edition campaign, and that I might want to check it out. It was a dungeon crawl, using the Dungeon of the Mad Mage module. I've never flat out done a dungeon crawl before, and it sounded like it could be fun. All of the characters started at level 5, with the basic starting gear for our classes, so I decided to roll up a bard. I figured having a versatile support caster would be handy, and it looked more interesting than my prior experience with the class in Pathfinder. Another long and sordid tale I'll have to share someday. I chose College of Valor. The first issues came up at the very start of the game. 1. If your character died, you could bring in another character at 1 level lower than the lowest level member of the party. The DM boasted that this could mean a character was a full 7 levels lower than the highest level character. I still don't know how the math works out on this. So like, weird flex about not caring about party balance or fun, but fine. We were playing on Roll20 with Fog of War on, mainly because the DM's PC had a meltdown when it was turned off. But also, if the character got separated from the others, too bad, so sad. You're on your own until you can find your way to them. Other players aren't allowed to ping themselves to help you find them, which, if you understand how chaotic it can be to move around on VTT outside of initiative order, meant that we slowed to an utter crawl just so we didn't get split off. It also meant you couldn't look away from the screen for 30 seconds, since if the rest of the party scooted off, and you didn't notice as a player, even if your character would have no issue noticing, you were screwed. I later got a look at the map on the level of the dungeon we started on. It's a gigantic maze of corridors. God help you if you needed to use the head and they didn't hear/notice you saying you were AFK for 2 minutes. I should have taken this all as a warning and bailed. Instead, I stuck around for 3 sessions, feeling, hey, I've got nothing better to do. We began playing. Now, have no illusions. I knew this was going to be a dungeon crawl, and was braced for a bit of meat grinder. I was, however, expecting a fair meat grinder. It was anything but. Some of the greatest hits included: 1. Our rolls were open in the VTT. His were done in person. He mysteriously made saving throws on enemies to highly improbable degree. This was explained as, he just has ungodly luck. I think he failed 2 saving throws in all of the sessions I played. 2. A complete and utter lack of any room descriptions or setting information. Every room looks the same as the one before it. Want information about what a statue looks like? Better hope you do well on multiple perception and investigation rolls. 3. Skills such as persuasion mean nothing. Try to negotiate with some goblins to open a door so we can avoid the big thing that's coming down the hall. Nope, a 25 is not good enough. Oh, and if you keep trying to figure something out, the DM will loudly count down and talk over you until something nasty jumps you. Countdowns like that are a massive, well, they're infuriating to me. 4. Totally ignoring things such as passive perception. You'll blunder into a gelatinous cube, a trap, a pit, etc., regardless of how high your passive perception is. Mine was 17, and I didn't notice anything amiss for the gelatinous cube. Still salty about that. 5. Circumstances in the dungeon changing for no reason at all. Doors that went through becoming impassable for a period. and then suddenly becoming passable again after we explore some corner of the dungeon for 2 hours. We did not trigger any magical traps or levers or anything. The door mysteriously unbarred itself for no clear reason. 6. Assuming our characters had basic setting knowledge, which should have been established in a session 0, we got attacked by a troll and some bugbears without being told what they are. I target the troll with my spell, I say, only to be told, if you know what the monster is, don't tell anyone. That is metagaming, which I could get if it was like an obscure critter, but it seems odd for someone in the Forgotten Realms to not know what a troll looks like. They're fairly common, no? Similarly, I was shouted at for metagaming when I hazarded a guess, he's probably not very bright, when choosing a spell. Again, I had no idea what the stat block of the troll was. It was an educated guess. 7. The sheer information deprival. We never got clues of puzzles or traps. We literally had to pry every last iota of information out of him. This, coupled with the lack of description, led to just blandness. The final straw for me, campaign-wise, came when we encountered what I now know is a shield guardian. This thing fired some sort of stone collar at us that naturally latched around my bard's neck. It was of course targeted AC, not a saving throw. Suddenly, I couldn't cast any more spells. Magic by other people didn't affect it. Trying to chip it off with a mason's tools didn't affect it. At this point, I was a rogue without sneak attack. Nothing anyone tried got it off. Even after consulting with the party artificer, any in-character inquiries to any sort of knowledgeable power got useless answers. I vaguely recall a secret room where we could ask the builder of the dungeon any 3 questions, and he had to answer them truthfully. My character asks how to get the collar off and was told, use your imagination. Realizing that I was having no fun at all, I made an excuse and left the campaign after this session. I later found out through a friend that the collar basically didn't allow someone to cast spells with verbal or somatic components to them. So the entire Bard spellbook, basically. They also let me know that the campaign hemorrhaged players. The DM had to combine both parties together, and even that limped on for only 2 more sessions. So yeah, maybe not the worst campaign I've been in. I've got 2 doozies in my past, but still something I wanted to get off my chest. End post. You know, until the very end, I almost thought that the GM wanted to be a game master for an OSR game, right? The timer aspect of it, the lack of saving throws, well, there were a different type of saving throw back then. The lack of using passive perception, things like that really gave off an air of OSR to me. But then the metagaming comment about just someone using their intelligence to say, well, that guy doesn't look too terribly smart, and then calling him out and saying that's metagaming is a little ridiculous. And I think the OP did okay to leave after only 3 sessions. It's hard to say if I would have left earlier in their shoes, but as they said, they had nothing better to do, so you might as well give it a shot. And if you're not having fun, leave, and that's exactly what they did. One could hope that after hemorrhaging all of their players, effectively, the GM got the lesson that they shouldn't be handling their games the way they are. They need to be more respectful to the player agency, and they should try not to railroad nearly as hard as they are. Anyhow, that's about all I can really say on this. Again, hoping that the GM learned their lesson. Now, before you click off the video, I am sponsored by myself. That's right, I'm sponsoring myself because I can do that. I'm advertising my own game. That's right, I've made a TTRPG light game called Pocket Adventure. And here's a little clip explaining what it is. Minions! Are you ready to embark on an epic adventure? I'm excited to announce that I'm currently developing a new game called Pocket Adventure, and I want you to be a part of the beta testing team. Pocket Adventure is a GM-less tabletop role-playing game that can be played with 1 to 4 players. That's right, no need to find a game master. You can jump right into the action. The game is designed to be quick and easy to learn, but with plenty of depth to keep you coming back for more. In Pocket Adventure, you'll create your own unique character and explore a vibrant and ever-changing world filled with danger and excitement. With a focus on fast-paced combat and a unique take on the choose-your-own-adventure format, every session of Pocket Adventure is guaranteed to be a unique and memorable experience. As a beta tester, you'll have the opportunity to provide feedback and help shape the game into something truly special. So if you're ready to join the adventure, head over to my Patreon page and sign up to become part of the Pocket Adventure community. All right, thank you again for watching. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell notification icon to be notified of my future videos. And while you wait for those future videos, here are a few related videos that you can watch in the meantime.